and I'm going to go through my bronze tournaments a little bit. I don't do the spreadsheets. I don't do the number crunching. I go by intuition. I go by watching other people stream and their recommendations. Once in a while, I look at the successful teams in previous drafts, but I don't like to copy exactly because I've got my own opinions about which cards work and where they work. So here is my June 18th bronze tournaments, and probably the best run I've had in bronze tournaments in a long time. You see winner 5th to 8th in the early bronze with 64 teams. 3rd and 4th, winner. So I had some success on June 18th in 6 of the 7 tournaments that I entered. So gonna go through my bronze team a little bit and show you what's working for me, at least for now. Anytime new cards come out, well, that changes things. Let's go into my bronze tournament here. And by all means, if you guys are in bronze tournaments, let us know what cards are working for you, because there's no one perfect recipe. 2 completely different teams can go on similar runs that I went on. This by no means is the secret sauce for winning packs in bronze. And in fact, in my current tournament right now, I'm down 3-1 and I lost 14-5. But hey, 2 days ago, things were working really well. And that's just, I didn't know I got a choice pack here. A high diamond choice pack. Ooh. And of course, most of them are Tournament 1 cards. Series 1, Series 1, Series 2, 1, 2, 1. 2 of the 4. That's what disappoints me. We're 2 weeks now into this new cycle of tournament cards, and we're still getting 67% of the cards that are you do well in a tournament, did really well in this tournament, and you get that high diamond. I won this tournament, 128 teams, and I've got 2 newer cards to choose from. Minimum, it should be 3 and 3. But hey, I will make it work. Probably going to go with this card, but I'll think about it. We'll get back to that later. All right, here is what I am running in. Why am I on Las Vegas? There we go. Here is what I'm running. Kel Eldridge. If you are in bronze tournaments, it's an expensive card, but go and get it. It will be worth it in the long run. This will be a meta pitcher until 5 more come out that are better than it. And even then, he can play in your bullpen. Right now, only 100 of them. It's one of those LE cards. And he's going for close to 50,000. I got mine probably for 36,000. It is a card you should have. It is a game changer in your bronze tournaments. Can you win without him? Sure. But odds are you're going to do better in the long run with a Kel Eldridge. I know for a bronze, 50,000 is a lot of points, but you see there's 3 people that have pretty big buy orders. Even if you put in like a buy order of 44,000, I think you'll probably get it, because we see 2 people that are competing with each other to sell it. So when you get at least two competitors, if you come down to a fair price, 44, 43, 42,000, likelihood is one of these 2 are going to jump at it because they don't want to lose this competition. So my advice, if you really want this and you have the perfect points, put in a buy order of maybe 43,000, 42,000, 41,000, and hope that you get it from one of these 2 competitors. All this Hawaii talk. Everyone's going to Hawaii? What? Chalupa Pants wins the bounty yesterday. He's going to Hawaii. Going to Maui. All right, next. These guys have been, I mean, not today, not this tournament. This is a one-off, but Dave McNally is another pitcher that a lot of bronze tournament teams use. I recommend you use him. I recommend that you start him. Some use him in the bullpen, but look at that pitcher BABIP. So what you can do with Dave McNally, and I don't know if I did it here, is you don't want this hurting you, this low home run rating. So boost up his pitch around a little bit. As I said yesterday, I'd rather have him walk someone than with this bad home run rating, give up a home run. So otherwise, probably not going to give up a lot of hits. Look at this. He went 8 1/3 inning, 3 hits, 1 run. That's kind of what you would expect out of a Dave McNally card that looks like this. Very few hits, and he gave up a home run. So with my strategy, I had it down to here. Probably should boost Dave McNally up a little higher, and his walks are probably going to go up. Notice he had 0 walks. So that might go up to 1 or 2 or 3, but hopefully the home runs will go to 0. So yes, another good starting pitching card on your bronze team. Ted Lilly, another guy I like, very similar to McNally, but not as good. You notice the pitcher BABIP's lower. Home run rate is very similar. So here's another guy that, again, I boost up my pitch around. Could probably go a little bit more. And again, 5 hits. He only went 2 1/3 inning. Had a bad outing. Danny Cox and Alex Cobb, I see in a lot of starting lineups. Here's more of your preventing home run guys, although he didn't in this game. He gave up 3, and that's going to happen with the random generation. So Cox and Cobb, you can kind of, swap back and forth. I kind of move them back and forth between 4 and 5. In the bullpen, I use Jumbo Elliott. A lot of people start him. I use him in the bullpen, and same with Larry Cheney. Again, high pitcher BABIP. You want that high pitcher BABIP in your bronze pitchers. And then I've got other common cards that people use. Larry Gura, again, high pitcher BABIP. Sometimes I move him into the starting rotation. Bob Turley, Oral Hershiser, Fernandez, and Joe Krakoukas. Again, not going to give up a lot of home runs. Pitcher BABIP's okay, but probably going to walk people. But in his 2 outings, 3 2/3, no walks, 5 strikeouts. So he's faced 11 batters, and he struck out 5. I'd say that's pretty good. So that is what I use for my pitchers. Just going to go back to a different tournament that's in progress. Welcome in again, everyone. Good to see everyone here. Hope your Tuesday is going well. Thank you for the follows from today. Let's go check out this one here. So yes, two days ago on the 18th, in 7 tournaments, I placed in 6 of them. I won 4, including a good finish in a 64-team tournament. And I'm facing off in this one against I Rock This, I think. Yeah, I believe this is I Rock This's team. And again, my hitters, this is what I'm going with. I'm a big fan right now of the Jerry Pretty card. I know some people don't like him. Some people do like him. The issue is he plays one position, not catcher, but he's really good against the lefties. So I've decided I want him in my lineup. With that profile, I'm willing to sacrifice a batting slot to have Jerry Pretty. And I have him hitting at the top of the order. And in this tournament, in 2 games, he's hitting 286. So not too bad. Dave Kingman, I still use, even though it's an iron card. And Cobra, I think you would agree that Dave Kingman is still a meta, especially at the iron level and even into bronze. Look at, he's hitting 286, couple home runs. 46 rated card. Don't look at the number on the card. Look at the back of the card, the ratings. It's what Charles always says, look at the ratings. Ignore the 46, look at that power and the fairly good eye. So 2 home runs, 4 RBIs in 3 games played for Dave Kingman. Jackie Robinson, I'm thinking about maybe taking him off, Jackie Robinson, because he's not performing as well as I should, but it looks like he should perform. Got a lot of green, got a lot of speed, can play first base, but in this tournament in 4 games, not 1 hit. Jackie Robinson, when are you ever going to see a Jackie Robinson go 17 at-bats without a hit? Not very often. Jimmy Ryan, I think Cobra would agree, still probably the best iron card out there would be the Jimmy Ryan. Can play in bronze, hitting 267 in this tournament. So make sure you get yourself a Jimmy Ryan. Most of you probably have him already. If you're playing low-level tournaments, you probably have a Jimmy Ryan. 118, well worth it. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Cobra. In league play and in base game play, you can look at lefty versus righty stats. Here you can't in tournaments. So that definitely is a little bit of a handicap to improve your team. Oh, and I won game 5 against I Rock This. So coming back. Next up, Joey Gallo. So I think iron cards, Dave Kingman, Jimmy Ryan are 2 definite iron cards that can play in bronze. Used to be a lot of pitchers, iron pitchers played in bronze, but over time we've got some really good bronze pitchers. So I don't have any iron pitchers on my staff anymore. I used to have a few. I used to have Lundgren, used to have Al Leiter, used to have Lefty Leafield, but I think there's good enough bronze pitchers now to replace them. Joey Gallo, a must-have in bronze. Again, he's going to hit the home runs. He's got 2 home runs in 5 games for me. So Joey Gallo, Gorman Thomas, still use him. Not hitting well in this tournament, but in a larger sample size, he'll probably do well for you. And another must card, if you don't have the dink, get the dink. Here's a guy that plays every position except pitcher. Yes, he plays catcher. Although I don't see him in perfect drafts as often as I used to. So this card is a must-have in my opinion. One of the top 3 bronze hitting cards in tournaments, Dink Mothel. In the card shop right now, he is running 169. Ironic. There you go. Next up, shortstop, I've got Herman Long. Woody Held is another one kind of in the infield that you can look for. But I've got this guy hitting against the lefties and righties in the number 9 slot. He's got power. He's got eye. Power and eye are still kind of the meta right now. He's got speed and he's got good defense. So just like Jackie Robinson, he's 0 for 14. He's stinking out the joint in this tournament. Fielding, 5 double plays, 3.34 range, above 0 zone rating, above 1 efficiency. So yeah, he's good on defense. So that's my versus left. Versus right, changed it up a little bit based on, again, their BABIP, based on their power. Power and eye. You want to look for the high eye guys and the high power guys that can play defense. Look at my defense. I'm a strong believer in defense. And all the cards you see on the screen there, up until Jimmy Ryan, are green or higher. So I've got Billy Hamilton more so as a reserve, more so to come in for a pinch runner role, come in for defensive substitution, really high-end center fielder in bronze. And then I've got Petway platooning with a Dink at catcher. Gives them each a rest, so I'm not overusing my catcher in a long tournament. So Petway I've got against the righties, even though he's better against the lefties in some areas. And I've got Dink at catcher against the lefties. What else? Mark DeRosa, popular card in bronze tournaments. Got him in kind of a utility role, playing against the righties where he hits a little bit better. And Mike Moustakas, I kind of have in and out of the lineup. I'm kind of iffy on him. Right now I have him in the lineup hitting 267. So there you go. The only guys I'm not utilizing in a starting role, Jimmy Wynn and Billy Hamilton. A couple outfielders that can come off the bench, maybe get me a home run, maybe play some defense, and fill in when guys are tired. So that has been my successful team over the last few days. If we look at kind of the league standings here, some other cards I've considered. I know a lot of people use this Luke Easter card, especially because of that power. He's got 5 home runs in the tournament, hitting .409. So the blowhards are getting a good tournament out of Easter. Let's see where they have them. Where are the blowhards? So they're using him 9th against the lefties, 3rd against the righties. And this is where This is where Cobra was referring to when you look at batting stats in league play and in base game play, you can look at their lefty and righty stats, but you can't in tournaments for some reason. Even though it would be a really small sample size, you could collect enough data over time to give you some good numbers. So yeah, we don't know, if this is all against righties, all against lefties. So there's a card you might want to consider, Luke Easter. I might take out Jackie Robinson and put in Easter, but look at this Jackie Robinson. Mine went like 0 for 17. This one's going 10 plate appearances, 8 at-bats, 6 hits. So going 6 for 8. So that's why I don't want to get rid of Jackie, because he's got that potential. He should do much better than 0 for 17. That's for sure. Other cards to consider, Nelson Cruz. I've had success with him. He's hitting .769 for this team here for Long Beach. And some still use Jody Reed. I got rid of Jody Reed, but if you look at him against the lefties, pretty good. It's too bad he wasn't the opposite, because then a pretty Jody Reed platoon might work fairly well at second base. But they're both better against the lefties. That's pretty much it for the hitter cards. That's the ones I would recommend. I see a couple of these cards here. I'm guessing because of that defensive value. So the Jose Siri, look at that, 115 in left field, 103 in right field. 2 at-bats, 2 hits. I don't think I'd use him. I'd rather use Billy Hamilton, I think. But I see at least a couple teams using him. War-wise, it is Cruz, it is Easter, it is Gorman Thomas, Jackie Robinson. And for pitchers, let's take a look who's kind of leading the way here. This is a pitcher I used for so many tournaments, and I just recently took him out. Always seemed to pitch pretty good for me. Fred Beebe. Do any of you guys use Fred Beebe? I kind of regret taking him out now. Oral Hershiser, I use him. Others use him as well. D. King uses him. This one here, a lot of people using Alfredo Acevias. I have not used this card, but looks pretty good. There you go. I'm learning something. Extreme fly ball. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, at least 5. How many are using him in this tournament? Is this a meta that I might have missed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But only 4 are using him in the tournament. So yeah, if you put a name in the search engine here, you can see all the teams in the tournament that own that card. So here's a team, the Sudbury Super Stacks. They own Alfredo, but because he's got no stats, I don't think they're using him in the tournament. No. Doesn't look like it. Or are they? Let's see. Sudbury. Maybe he just hasn't pitched anything yet. Yeah, no, they're not using him in the tournament. So sometimes when you search a name, they're not in that tournament. They're just owned by that team manager. Let's take a look at Jackie here. A lot of Jackies. Again, I wish they had a little filter here where you could go and click on stats for this tournament just to see how many are playing him. So I don't want to click through and check them all. And some of these are the bronze and some of these are the gold and so on. So yeah, it's too bad you couldn't filter your searches a little bit. All right, game 6 is in. Let's check out if somehow I was able to stave off elimination against I Rock This. Oh, Sea Shockers. You love your BB too? Yeah, I loved him right at the beginning, and then I don't know. I just got kind of off of him. Southern, I think his name is Alan Southern. This guy here. Yeah, I used this guy quite a bit too early on in tournaments, and then that pitcher Babbitt just wasn't doing it for me. But I don't know if you guys have tried him out. I used him for a long time. Him and Fred were kind of my two main pitchers early on in tournaments. All right, so it looks like I tied this up against I Rock This. The team is saying, hey, we're live on stream right now. We can't embarrass Lap. He was down 3-1. We won game 6 in 10 innings. Cool. Eldridge started the game, and now in this pivotal matchup, who's going against each other? I Rock This has Carl Lundgren. There's that iron card I used quite a bit. I'm sure Cobra uses Lundgren in his iron tournaments. It was just a week ago I took him out of my bronze lineup. That control was just, I mean, look at that blue though. And I'm going with Dave McNally. That pitcher Babbitt. Game 7 on the line. So any other questions that you guys have about bronze tournaments or cards that you're finding successful? Are there any out there that I haven't kind of addressed that you're having good luck with? And I don't mind sharing my roster. I hope you know, you guys build rosters that are more successful and more competitive. Hundley, good defensive catcher. But yeah, it's a lot of the same names. Even if we look at the short leaderboard here, look, Jackie Robinson, 4 stolen bases. My Jackie didn't do so well. Easter, 10 runs batted in. Jimmy Ryan, 4 home runs. Look at this card here. 6 plate appearances, 4 at-bats, 4 hits, and all of them are home runs. Cobra, I think he's still meta. 4 at-bats, 4 home runs for Jimmy Ryan. The Flat Earthers, I know that team. The Flat Earthers, where do you run Jimmy Ryan? A little bit of stalking here. Where is he? You don't even have him in starting position. Oh. So you've got him coming off the bench. Interesting. IBDB. What's your strategy with Jimmy Ryan? 4 for 4, 4 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 2 walks. This is the Babe Ruth of iron, it looks like. And you don't have him in your starting lineup, so you must have him just pinch hitting, or you got him coming in every second game somewhere. I guess he was well rested and ready to rock. And Cobra says he still ranks #1 in most of the data in hitting categories. So if you're playing bronze or iron tournaments and you don't have Jimmy Ryan, there's one case where I would say you're making a mistake. I don't often say you make mistakes when you create your own lineups, but if you don't have Jimmy Ryan somewhere on your team, I think you're making a mistake. And if you can get that Cal Eldridge, Sean Soul says he uses Mac Eggleston. Mac Eggleston. Let's see if we have one that's playing. Okay, catcher. 1 team, 2 teams, 3. So 4 or 5 teams are using him. And, very multi-positional players, kind of like Dink Mothel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he can play every position. All right. I'm curious, Sean, do you have Dink on the team as well? Because it would seem to me that Dink is just a better version of him. Let's see if I can find. Go to my Dink Mothel. Better against the lefties. Better against the righties, except for a couple categories. Very similar. More speed with Dink. And defense. I mean, when I put them side by side, very similar, but I still have to give the edge to the Dink card. Just a little bit better. But if you're having success with Mac, or if you have both of them even, probably even better. Oh, there you go. So a couple of you guys use both of them. All right, I'm gonna have to consider that. Good. Thanks for the tip. All right, last chance. Questions about bronze. There is, again, my team right there. That's what I'm running for my pitchers. And this is what I'm running for my hitters. Although, again, definitely room for improvement to pull a couple of these people out and put in some of these other suggestions.